Oh, Julian, I just want to interrupt this episode of Veterinary Ramblings to say a big thank you to our sponsors, MAI and Thames Medical.
Oh, yes, they're very kindly sponsoring this episode of Veterinary Ramblings, aren't they?
They are indeed. And they will both be at the London Vet Show on stand J09.
Great.
If you want to chat, pop along and see us. I'll be there as well.
See you then.
Hi, I'm Mike Brampton.
And my name is Julian Hoad.
Welcome to Veterinary Ramblings.
Where do we start?
I was going to start by saying we don't want to get on the wrong side of Gunila because she could take us out quite easily.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, what? You mean the kickboxing thing?
That or belly dancers into submission. I wasn't quite sure which. Let's go into the kickboxing first, because I went to a jolly nice restaurant last month called Muay Thai. And when you said in your CV that you're into Muay Thai, I thought, great, we can chat about Thai food because I like it. And that's nice and relaxing. But it's not eating, is it?
It's not. No, it's a martial art. It's like kickboxing, but you can use your elbows as well.
Oh, it's worse than I described.
Yeah, just adding a bit of more limbs and edges in.
You can use elbows as well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Have you got in the ring and done this?
I've not done it professionally, so I haven't had a fight because I'm too old. I'm coming up to 49 next year, and I started it 7 years ago, so I'm a bit old. Like I could break something, but we do sparring when we're training. Yeah, and some of the people we spar again are really young, really fit guys that actually do compete, and sometimes they forget a bit. Like our level is maybe not quite there.
But Mike and I are both shocked because you're saying you're too old and you're much younger than both of us.
Yeah, would you be doing Muay Thai professionally now, though? Would you?
I might. I never know.
Okay.
I might do it. Yeah.
Possibly. I retired from rugby only 45 years ago.
There you go.
I'm brilliant in my mind. I still pack down with the scrum every time I see it on the telly.
And I still climb. So there we go. Not too old for that.
Yeah.
You still climb?
So what got you into this?
Why Muay Thai?
Horrific sport.
It was completely random. I was just trying to have more time with my daughters, and one of them wanted to do self-defense, and then she said, "Oh, it could be cool to do kickboxing," and it was a mixed group. So I was like, "Okay, I'll join with you then." And then both my daughters eventually joined, and then they stopped because then they went traveling, and I just continued. I had a really good friend that started at the same time. We became really good friends, fighting together, and then as COVID hit and they closed gyms, we wandered together from gym to gym and from teacher to teacher as they opened and closed, and now we've been in the same place for about 2 years and I really enjoy it. So yeah, we're more or less at the same level, same height and that, so we can kick ass.
And is it a graded system? Do you do belts and things in much the same way as you do in other?
Not in Muay Thai. No, it's not like Taekwondo because they train that as well where we go, and yeah, that's belts and stuff, but not in Muay Thai. No.
Right. But are you grading at Taekwondo?
I don't do Taekwondo, but the gym has it, and I know they have
right.
belts and stuff. Yeah, so I don't do that. I just do Muay Thai.
I think Muay Thai, Julian, is more like survival.
It sounds like, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know, it's going to beat the shit out of someone. Oh, okay. Let's do it indoors, though, because it's raining.
You've heard of cage fighting, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what Muay Thai is? Cage fighting?
It's not quite, but you could potentially start beating somebody, kick them, and then you can get them in a headlock and get them on the floor as well. So it's mixed martial arts basically. Yeah, it's a bit like what they do in the UFC and that.
Yeah.
I suddenly want to hug a teddy bear or something on there.
I've got one there. Where's your teddy bear gone?
I've got some steel wool.
Yeah, that'll be
I'll hug
comforting
some
for you.
steel wool.
Considering what we're talking about, I think steel wool would be a good comfort
I think
blanket.
so. My happy place. Yeah.
Why
have I got steel wool in my office?
Anyway, you've got a random drill bit in your office.
There. and some malaria tablets.
Oh, okay.
So there we go. Tells a lot about my life.
Fair enough.
Let's get back, if we could, if that's the right good, let's get back to belly dancing, which I believe was another of your, I don't know whether to call it a hobby, but probably better than a profession.
I guess I did actually earn money doing it. We did do some we had a few jobs and a lot for charity as well. It always like we have, so here in Spain where I'm right now, there's a lot of expats and they have Save the Animals, this and the other. So obviously, because I was the vet of a lot of them, then I would get the whole group and we'd go and dance for free. But we did have paid stuff as well. Weddings, birthdays, yeah. But I didn't have time to do that and the Muay Thai as well. So in the end, I just, went for the Muay Thai. So I could be with my girls, basically.
Yeah. I went to a wedding once where they had a belly dancer who got us all up there doing belly dancing. I nearly put my back out. It's a very physical thing, isn't it?
Super hard. Yeah. You don't realize until you start. You don't realize what muscles you actually have until you start using them. You're like, well, I didn't know it could hurt here, but it does. Yeah.
Well, the next morning I couldn't sit up. I just pushed myself out of bed.
I believe you. Yeah. Yeah.
And what made you get into that?
That's a really good question. I think that was through the gym. I was randomly going to the gym then, and then there was a free try belly dance, and then there was one of the girls that was there said, "Oh, this is really crap. You should come with me. We have a local group, which is actually in my own village." And then I joined them, and then I joined another one as well, and then I just loved it. Yeah, I think it's one of those things you try. That's why you need to try a lot of things, right? If you hear about something, just join a class, see what happens, and then just go with it. And if you enjoy it, just keep doing it. Yeah. That's because I just started CrossFit as well. So when I'm in Spain, I do Muay Thai because I have the amazing teacher here. When I'm in Denmark, then there's a gym that does CrossFit, and there's just really nice ambience there. The people are just amazing, and that's for me really important as well. That you switch off work and you go and have this hobby that might be less or more hard, but you go and you really enjoy it. You're in there and you're with the people. It's like a second family, isn't it? Like when you do really hard sports like that or something, you really have to concentrate. You have to work in team. Yeah, I think it's really good.
How much time do you spend? Obviously, our audience haven't been party to this. We've picked this up from me picking or linking up with you on LinkedIn initially, and that we've got the benefit of a breakdown of your background. But our audience have been thrown straight into this right from the get-go. Can I quickly précis a couple of things? Because then I want to ask a couple of questions off that. So you've been a vet for how long?
About 20 years now.
About 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So you spend your time split between Denmark, the UK, and Spain.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you work as a vet in all three places?
No, I went to vet school in Copenhagen, and then I moved straight to Spain where I worked for a few years, and then I had my own clinic.
Yep.
So I've worked in Spain and I still have my license. I have my license in all three countries, but then I started locuming in the UK, and now I have a steady job in the UK. So I only work in the UK as a vet now.
But we're speaking to you in Spain at the moment.
I'm in Spain, yeah. I arrived Monday night from UK.
Wow. Is this a holiday?
Hence the black rings under my eyes. Like I just came out on 7 night shifts, so I didn't think that through when we booked the date.
For those who are listening and not watching, there are no black rings.
No.
Okay.
There are no black rings at all.
In fact, I doubt whether you qualified 20 years ago, I would have said 10.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Kind.
There we go.
Kickboxing obviously keeps you young.
Yeah, it's all the running around trying not to die. Yeah.
Kickboxing, CrossFit, and other things.
Indeed. So what's your day job in Spain?
I only work in the UK. So my day job when I'm not in the UK is working as a life coach for vets, which I started doing about 4 or 5 years ago.
So are you still clinical at all?
Yes, I work in the UK only. So let me explain. I do 1 week of nights in the UK, and then I'm 3 weeks off, and then I work 1 week nights and so on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 weeks I'm off, I either travel. So from London, I either fly to Copenhagen or I fly to Malaga in Spain, and then I'm at either of the houses, depending on what we're doing.
Wow, sounds great.
Yeah.
What a balanced life. We'll get into that, I think, in a moment. But I wondered, Mike, whether we've got to know each other a little bit over the last 5 minutes or so. Should we jump straight in and ask Gunila a question that may take her out of her comfort zone a bit?
Yes, you can ask her the difficult question.
When I say we ask her, I was hoping that you might ask her.
Yeah, but
if that was all right.
Last episode, you clearly said that you'd give it a go this time.
Did I? No, I thought it was this time next year. Next year.
No, it was next episode, and this is next episode. And Gunila is smiling.
She's smiling now, but I don't want
very
to
open and
lose that
friendly
smile. I don't want to be the cause of her losing that smile. And I think you'd ask it in such a way that the smile won't go. But I'm not very good at asking the question and make it awkward for people.
Which is why you said you were going to ask the difficult question this episode.
And I did say it, didn't I?
Okay,
I'm
fine.
it a bit.
Okay.
Is that all right? Just what you? I'll do it next time. I'll do it next time.
You'll do it next time, right? Really?
I'm
Okay.
just making things awkward for Gunilla. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We'll record, shall we? We'll record this. Are you saying that you're going to do it next time? Yeah, we'll record that. We'll have that on record. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jolly good. All right. I'll ask the difficult question. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Thanks.
I can do it. Gunilla,
Yes, Mike.
particularly with your travelling, what's your favourite bread?
My favorite, I actually don't eat that much bread.
Oh.
I make myself, and then in Denmark I do eat rye bread.
Mhm.
But in the UK I do not eat bread. I don't like the bread in the UK. Sorry.
You've not tried my bread. So next time you
I
come,
haven't. You should come by Kettering and deliver
Okay.
a loaf of your bread, and
I
I'll
will
buy
do.
it.
I will do.
Yeah.
Now, I can make a rye bread. If you want a rye bread,
Yeah, cool.
Is that
For
a
a whole
dark
month.
rye bread?
Yeah, so it's basically it's rye. It's a grain. There's no flour in it. It's almost like the grains just compressed together.
So it's
Yeah.
very much the one that our guest last week liked, which is a pumpernickel. Is that the
So
one?
yes, it's like that, but it doesn't have that dark caramelized taste to it.
Right.
It was
Yes.
actually rooibos. Or something
Yes, it was,
like
wasn't it? Rooibos. Yeah.
rooibos, which is from Holland, the Netherlands. I
Yeah.
suspect it's just a little bit more southern than the darker rye bread of the Scandic countries. Yeah. which is an interesting thing. I wonder how many of our listeners have noticed that you can't buy tinned pilchards anymore. You cannot buy classic tinned pilchards off the shelf in tomato ketchup anymore in the UK.
I don't even know what that is.
Pilchard is like a large sardine.
Yeah,
And
Small herring.
small herring, and it's a traditional go-to. Pilchards on toast, pilchards in tomato ketchup, and comes in little tins and bigger tins. And it's been very difficult to get it for the last 8 months, and I haven't seen it on the shelves any time in the last 3 months. I've also noticed that pickled herrings have gone off the shelf as well.
Have they? Is that because they're not being fished much? They're so rare.
I don't know whether it's because the climate change has forced the sardine fleets or the sardine shoals further north, and whether the new fishing regulations are thereby preventing them from being fished, or what it is. I don't know. No idea.
I've just Googled it. Thank goodness for Google. You can't buy tinned pilchards anymore because of a severe decline in catches off the coast of Morocco. Yeah. Overfishing by both domestic and foreign boats. Oh, there we go.
So climate change is going to start impacting suburbia very soon.
Yeah. I must admit, I haven't felt the lack of pilchards. I'm not belittling it. That's
You're
pretty
too
bad,
posh.
isn't it? They
You're
used to
too
be.
posh. You only eat anchovies, don't you?
Well, one does, of course, like anchovies, but no, I normally get sardines because they're smaller and cheaper.
I'm partial to my herrings and to my sardines.
Indeed. I'm very acutely aware that Gunilla is a vegan, and
Yeah.
we're talking about tinned fish, and probably very insensitively so. I do apologise, Gunilla.
No, it's fine. I only became vegan 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, it's fine.
What?
And do you
what
go?
prompted
I was
that?
going to say cold turkey. It's the wrong word.
No, you don't go cold turkey. You don't go.
Were you a vegetarian prior to being a vegan? Or...
Not at all. I was completely omnivore, and then I watched Game Changers on Netflix because there was I think the director, the one that created the documentary, he was a UFC fighter, and I was just watching anything UFC because of what I do. And something just flicked, and I I called my husband and I said, because I was in the UK at that time, and I said, you need to watch this, and then when I come back, then we're vegan. And he was like, no, what are you saying? Because he's British, he's from Warrington, and obviously bacon. But then he watched it as well and thought, yeah, okay, we can give it a go. And then we just kept going, just haven't looked back.
Good. And do you feel healthier? Do you feel
I think so. I think
Any
he feels
difference?
it more than me because then obviously I hit perimenopause at the same time. So it's difficult for me to say how it would
Sure.
have been. Yeah, I do feel I do a lot of stuff. A lot of people ask me how I get so much energy and stuff. And I do think the diet has got something to do with it. And my husband, he definitely feels it as well. He feels like he used to have a lot of ache and pains and they're gone now. So we assume it's a diet.
Interesting.
Or did
Yeah.
he just give up Muay Thai fighting?
He runs away when I come.
And that's
So
why
he's
his aches and pains have gone.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing to
Albeit.
do with the diet. It's the fact you stopped hitting him.
No, I never stopped. Who said that?
And so now your husband's not a vet, though.
No, not at all. No, he's an electronical engineer.
Ah,
Yeah,
exciting
so
stuff.
nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I've lost track of where we actually got to so far on this. We've gone down so many different avenues already.
Sardines.
Well,
Sardines,
sardines, pilchards, but we can forget about that. We can harp on about something else.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Mike gets very crabby with me when I start fish puns. It's a load of bollocks anyway. So
Yeah, we'll have to show you some muscle, won't we?
I'll clam up. He'll think of something else in a minute, or salmon.
Yeah, put you back in your net.
Your place.
Yeah.
Oh my
Your
God.
place. Yeah. Oh my God. Stop now.
Yeah, I'm
I
getting
will.
whiplash from the dad
Yeah.
jokes.
Thank you. No guest has ever said that those are bad jokes before.
No, I said dad jokes.
dad
I said
jokes.
dad jokes. Dad
Dad
jokes.
jokes.
Bad jokes is
Yeah.
even better.
It is. I love it.
Yeah. Mind you, I probably won't be
I
laughing
mean-
when she puts me in my place, will I? That's brilliant stuff.
And so let's get back to being a vet, or being
Okay.
in the veterinary profession. That's something that you're very passionate about, I'm guessing, because we all are in the profession.
Yeah.
And you're just doing, you are only doing emergency work. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what actually led you to specialize in emergency and critical care work?
I get bored really easily. I don't like sitting still. I don't like doing the same thing over and over. Hence, also living between 3 countries. I really don't like knowing what I'm doing from day to day. So
Mhm.
it just became pretty obvious. I also like concentrating on the work because I owned a clinic for 10 years with everything that comes with that. I never switched off, which obviously was part of my burnout as well. So I really like doing emergency work. I don't have the follow-ups. I don't have to worry. It's like I do my 7 nights and then I can switch off completely. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
can
so,
relate to that. I think I spent a little time a few years ago, many years ago now, riding on ambulances. And I like anaesthesia, but I loved emergency care and working
Yeah.
with paramedics because you've got to work out what the hell's going on before you can start doing anything
Yeah.
and then start doing stuff. And I just loved that challenge. So I can relate to that.
Also
Yeah.
being sole charge as well. There's no politics. It's just me and my team. And then I think you become really close with your team as well. So it's always a small team, isn't it? And you become
Mm.
really close with them and you can run all the crazy jokes, the dark humor. It's just, yeah, I find it a lot of fun. I
Mhm.
do. Yeah.
do you miss the repeat client contact and the making, I guess, close associations and friends with clients, or not?
A good
And
question.
I only ask that because a friend of mine was in ECC for a while, but that's what he missed, and so he went back to primary care.
I don't think I do too much because I had a lot of it for a long time because I owned my own. I worked,
Hmm.
what did I work? Like 5 years in a clinic and then I owned my own. So I had like maybe 15 years or so of having
Mhm.
that. And I'm still friends with a lot of my clients from back then. So I get it through there. I don't feel I need it. I think because I also, in the meantime, because I burned out and did my coaching certification, I became really good at communicating with people and getting a close relationship with people over 5-10 minutes and being able to have that rapport with them. So I feel then when you then speak to them next day if the animal is still hospitalized and that, then it's always it's already a repeat client. So I feel, yeah, I don't think I miss it, no.
Okay. You mentioned this a couple of times. So it would be remiss of me not to pick up on this, and I hope you don't mind me asking the question. You've mentioned burnout.
Yeah.
Could you share? Are you open to sharing that with us? Because it's obviously had a major effect on your life.
Yeah.
But we're seeing in front of us and listening to a very dynamic, go-getting sort of person, which is the absolute opposite, potentially, of what you're describing. So what led you to that place? How did it manifest itself? What happened?
Well, what you're saying right now is part of the problem, because the people that burn out don't show it. So I could potentially be burnt out now and I would still look the same.
Okay.
Because what I've found, both myself and the people I work with, is that we just show it like it's a sign of weakness and we should just get on with it and so on. So I think talking about it on this podcast and anywhere, the more it can be talked about is better, because we don't realize we're in burnout. We don't address it. We don't think it's a thing. I went to ER several times myself with heart palpitations, which probably looking back was some sort of anxiety or panic attacks, but I thought it was something with my heart, and they investigated and there was nothing wrong. And it never occurred to me, like, which sounds stupid now, that it was actually stress. I just didn't think of it. And I had several things. I had like weird dermatitis. I was losing my hair. Just had several like physical ailments as well. And it was the constant going to bed and then, oh, did I remember to phone this one? Oh, did I do that? What about that case? What if I didn't stitch it properly? Just the what ifs I should have was just constant in my brain. And it's just wore me out completely. And I ended up resenting the animals, resenting the clients, resenting my coworkers, because it was just so heavy. And I left VetMed for a whole year because I just could not. I hated it. I was just like, I can't do this. I'm just not made for this. Not realizing that it was not as much the profession, which admittedly is a busy profession. It has a lot of challenges, but I was not really good at coping with it because I was not setting any boundaries. I had no self-awareness of my emotions, of my thoughts, of my inner interpretation of what was happening. So I was just like completely flowing with whatever. If a client was angry, I took that all on me. That was my fault, and now their unhappiness was on me. If an animal died, that was my fault. Now the family is unhappy because of me. And that is a lot to take on, like not having any boundaries at all. That is horrible when you're in this profession. Working in Starbucks already without boundaries is probably a challenge for working in VetMed without them. I'm not kidding. It's no joke.
Sure.
Okay, so what happened? Did you just decide one day that was it? You put your scalpel down and just walked out?
I started planning for it. I thought, I need a year. I need time off. I need to get away. So I worked incessantly around the clock, working nights to save up for it. And then my husband had some money as well. And we thought, okay, so I can just leave now. And then I thought, okay, so what else am I going to do? And I didn't really know. And then I found coaching sideways because by then my daughters were teenagers. And I don't know if you have kids, but teenagers are no joke. And when you then are feeling like you're not even a person, it's really, so I thought, again, the problem was them. And I needed to learn how to deal with them. And then I found coaching that way, actually, to help me be a better mom and to understand my teenagers. And then I thought, wait a moment, it's actually me. There's a common denominator here. Yeah.
Was there a particular moment, or was there a particular person that helped you into this diagnosis, or was this a gradual drip feed?
Just a gradual drip, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think I even, like, the burnout was not even something we talked about. It was just, I was just tired of being a vet. I was fed up with being a vet. That was all.
Interesting.
And how long did it take you, do you think, to regain your love of the job?
It took me a year. Yeah. So after a year, I was like thinking about, should I become a coach? Because then I really love coaching and I could see how it could help. So I thought I messed about with that a bit. And then I remember there was literally a day, I can't remember, I must have seen a dog or something, and I missed the sensation of placing a catheter. As stupid as that, it was just like, am I never going to place a catheter again? I'm really good at it. And then that kind of just started me, because I couldn't decide what else I wanted to be. Which is funny because I always dreamt about having a pancake house or working in a bakery and stuff like that, but I didn't do it. I couldn't put myself to do it. So yes, I went back to VetMed, and now I do love it, like genuinely love it, and I love the challenges. And when there's really difficult cases, I know how to manage it and not take it on me. So I can be there for the owners, I can be there for the animal, but it's not on me.
Do you think, and it's perhaps a silly question, but do you think you'll get burnout again? Or do you think you've got a good enough sense of the warning signs in your own psyche.
Yeah, I have. So this week particularly, I've just come back from, has been really heavy. I've had 3 issues in one go. I had one from home because obviously when we travel, we have house sitters. I had an issue with the house sitters. And then at work, I had a problem with a member of staff where I had to set a firm boundary. And then I had non-accidental injury on an animal where I had to get the authorities in. So it was a really heavy, like emotionally heavy week. I don't mind if it's busy cases coming in and you're saving them, and sometimes some don't, but it was just a lot on my mind. And then I know straight away, and I'm like, okay, so everything I had planned to write post, that was just out of the window. We're not doing this. We're just chilling down. We're just taking care of ourselves. And I recognize straight away I start getting tired, and then I don't make any decisions. Yeah, non-accidental injury is when you have very strong suspicions that there's been an injury on an animal on purpose. So basically somebody has abused an animal. Yeah.
It was that topic that got you and I talking in the first place, wasn't it?
And you know what? It was the same bloody kitten that came back with another injury.
Oh, gosh.
So you're right.
Do you want to take us back to the start of this? Obviously, I wasn't in the LinkedIn conversation.
I'll let Gunila do this because I think a mutual friend either commented or, we'll say commented on a post that Gunila had put on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so when I post for several, sometimes I share personal struggles just to let other vets see it's normal to have struggles. Sometimes I post something, this is how you set a boundary. Like I post informative stuff. And sometimes I post stuff for the general public so they can see how hard it is to be a vet, so they can stop bullying us. And this post was a combination where I said, I had a kitten in and it had a head trauma. And I was like, is this something, the story didn't match. I wasn't quite sure, but I left it in the hand of the day team when they then left and said, look, I don't know if we should investigate this. And I felt I wasn't prepared. And because I'm a coach and I can go through my emotions, I'm like, okay, I think we need some training on this because I think that was lacking. But I imagine other vets maybe not having that emotional resilience I have now could really take it on themselves. What do we do with this and the other and feel super responsible? No. So I just posted that, and a lot of people, which was amazing, posted, oh, you can, there are all these trainings, there are all these resources you can use when you suspect an animal has been abused or has been harmed in any way on purpose, which was great. Okay, so the kitten ended up going back to the family, and lo and behold, exactly a month later, it came back with another injury. So I'm not going to go into details because obviously an active investigation is that's going to be a prosecution now. But then I had to sit with, I saw this animal the first time and I didn't seize it because the suspicion wasn't strong enough. And I also have now this family that's got small children, and now social services are going to come in. So all this because what I did. So the consequences are huge. So there's a lot of ethical considerations. What is my role in this? And obviously my role is this kitten cannot speak up for itself. So I have to turn around and say to my nurse, this kitten is not going home with this owner. We are seizing it. And he's like, what? Because he wasn't there in the first case. And I'm like, this is not normal. There's no way this is an accident. So that was really heavy, right? Because what's going to happen to this family now? And what if I'm wrong? Because was it a complete freak second accident in a month? I don't know. And having to deal with the RSPCA, which is police, it's scary as well. Because what if I say something wrong? I have to be a witness, and I've tried that before. So it's hard, not to do this job sometimes.
Yeah, that struck a chord with me because during COVID, both Julian and I worked with the NHS. And I think in that initial post, there was also an element of a question to the veterinary colleges and to the veterinary authorities as to what support, what protocols, what help is available when this situation arises. And of course, in the comments, you've got an outpouring of interest and support in that, but you still had to ask for that in the first place. And one of the things that both Julian and I, we talked about this particular case in this post, because one of the things that struck us was that working for the National Health Service, we had to go on safeguarding courses, and we had to do 2, didn't we? We did the safeguarding course, and what was the other one that you mentioned?
Prevent training.
Prevent training as well.
That's prevention of radicalization and incitement to terrorism.
And terrorism, that's right. So although we were seeing the patient for maybe a minute and a half, we were expected and in effect trained and supported in detecting situations that warranted safeguarding actions being taken. So, of course, your post going, what do we do in this situation?
Yeah.
Really struck a chord for me, because I'd been through all of this stuff and I haven't got 15 minutes with the patient. I've got 20 minutes with the patient. I've got a minute and a half with each patient. And I'm expected to detect that this patient's reacting abnormally, or the person that's brought this patient in is reacting abnormally. And I therefore need to notify sister, who notifies matron, who then notifies XYZ. And it triggers a whole sequence of events, which of course, unfortunately now you've started to experience in this case, because it's developed further. The only difference being is that you've got the RSPCA, whereas we didn't have that at the NHS, did we?
No.
I wish we had at times, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
they were bloody efficient. They come out like the same morning and took statement and that. So that was really nice. I was like, I'm glad I can leave it with you guys now, because I don't know what to do with this. It's like, what's going to happen next?
I think one of the things that we're going to do, picking up from that, Veterinary Ramblings are going to run a couple of episodes specifically about safeguarding and abuse. And we've lined up a couple of guests to really get into that. For any of our listeners, if you're particularly interested in that, what do you do if a patient presents that is questionable? Then we're going to deep dive into that with a number of people that will also give you help.
Be helpful, yeah.
Hopefully, but that's thanks to you.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
happy to help.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't want. I want vets to have tools, and this I had completely coincidental. We had some sort of leaflets, but it was just on the computer, just a sheet saying like a flow chart, and it was like, if you do, and then make sure they're safe. And I know a bit. You watch program, and I know you just know a bit because we're in a profession. So also asking this woman, are you safe? Basically, how do you ask that in a way that you don't trigger them? And and the flowchart, it said something of, if they don't want to leave the animal, I'm like, that's no question. They're not leaving. They're leaving the animal. There's no way they're taking this cat with them. I will fight them if they try to take the animal with them. Yeah, they're getting
Well,
a foot in the head. I will go to jail for this kitten now. There's no way they'll take.
Did they know at the time that you were a semi-professional Muay Thai boxer?
I think
'Cause I can see the conversation going, I don't think you're going to take this kitten home. Now, lower the cage walls and we'll start this round.
Yeah. I will say about when you do martial arts, I will say that you get a bodily confidence that, so I'm not scared. So if a client is shouting, because I would never go out to fight anybody, but I'm not afraid of like people pushing or going towards me because I'm used to it. So if there is like, oh, there's somebody being a bit aggressive, I'll just go out and meet them, and I think me coming out with that confidence, it shuts them down straight away. Because they can't bully me. Never had to use force, but just the fact that I know I can take them on, it just, shuts down any confrontation really quickly.
Because bullies, I'm guessing, want to see a reaction. They want to see that they have intimidated someone. That's the buzz they get.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's
I'll be
very...
interested to follow this case. I have a theory that hasn't been covered at all, which is probably not the most popular attitude or approach to this. But it does make me wonder who the perpetrator is.
Yeah.
And I do actually wonder whether it is the obvious perpetrator at all.
In this case, I think it's the obvious perpetrator. Oh. Yeah. The one that actually brought in not the one that brought in the kitten. No, it would.
Sorry, I thought you were suggesting the kitten itself was got what you were asking for.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I know the details. I don't. But it did occur to me that, hang on a minute, maybe we're going down the obvious route here. But obviously we go down the obvious route for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I think it's not for us to say that you've done the right or wrong thing, is it? I think we just give you support because I think you probably have done the right thing.
I think even if it's a freak accident, right? Let's see that this kitten has been exposed to some sort of danger in the household, whether accidental or not. It should not be in this household anymore because this is not that sort of violence should not be inflicted on a kitten. Whenever, even if I don't know, if they have a tumble dryer without a door in it, I don't know. Like it shouldn't be in this household for whatever reason, for sure.
Yeah.
As a school governor, it's drummed into us that actually the only time we cause harm is by not whistleblowing, is by not telling someone of our suspicions.
Yeah.
We have to trust in a process that will work out whether our suspicions were right or not.
Yeah.
But if we don't say that we are worried and don't give our concerns, then potentially we've let that kitten, in this case, or in the case of a school worker, that child, in for a lot of pain, maybe even threat of life.
Yeah.
So I was going to say it's a very brave thing to do. I think it is a very brave thing for you to have done. I think it's also showing a huge level of compassion and empathy, because we can only recognize a non-accidental injury because we pick up on something very subtle. And we pick up on something that isn't, you said it's out of the ordinary, it's different sort of injury. But Mike and I picking something up in the space of a 1.5 minute vaccination is impossible, because we don't know what's normal for that person. But after a few weeks or months of doing vaccinations, we think that's an abnormal response. And I think we've both said our concerns to our duty supervisors over those sort of things. They followed it up. You recognize something different, and you intuited more from that. And that's, I wonder whether your burnout may have made you perhaps more empathetic, more compassionate. If you, once you've had that sort of mental health struggle, you recognize it in other places, don't you?
I think it's that. And then personally, I had a violent childhood as well. So I'm incredibly tuned into domestic violence and to any non-accidental injuries as well. I think my alarm bells will probably go off earlier than anybody else, because I've seen it in my own home. Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
I was going to say, I'm sorry to hear that.
No,
Let's not dwell on that. Let's move on. But coming back to the burnout and the coaching, did you receive coaching and support for yourself when you were taking this 12-month sabbatical?
Like I said, I didn't get it for my burnout. Because I didn't think I had burnout. I was just like, I'm tired of vet med. I'm going to do something else. And as I was in there, I was struggling, obviously because I wasn't burnout, which I didn't know. I was struggling with my daughters. And then through folks, this and the other, joined the Facebook group, this and the other. And then I come across a coach who then asked me some questions about how I was feeling about my daughters. And it just opened up a whole can of worms, a rabbit hole, or what you would call it. Oh, there's actually another way to see this. What? And then and that just opened up. And then I joined the life coach school, and then I got coached on several things. And then I started, maybe I can get coached on this as well. And it started time management, and then it rolled from there. And that's when I realized, actually, I could probably use this for vet med as well.
Yeah, now time management. God, which vet doesn't need time management lessons?
Bloody hell. Yeah.
Hey, well, I know a time out. It's time management.
Okay, which vet and owner of their own business doesn't need time management coaching?
And everybody, right? It's prioritizing what's important, not multitasking. It's not wanting to do everything else. And so now I'm talking to you two guys, but I know with women, we tend to take a lot on ourselves. Like, things have to be perfect. So in the household, for example, where the guy might be like, it looks all right, but we have visitors. And you're like, no, but the curtains need ironing. I don't know, like we women, we just go crazy doing all these things. And in the clinic as well, it's important to prioritize. So I had a consult with one. I don't know if I've mentioned this before on my podcast as well, but I once had a consult with a vet, a female vet. That I say female because I think we tend to do this more. She worked in a referral hospital. She was internal medicine, and she wanted help because she would come home at 9:00, and she would write histories. She didn't write any notes during the day, and she would write histories until 2:00 in the morning. 2:00 in the morning every day. And she wanted coaching because she was mad at her dad because he was coming to visit on a Friday, and she already had 17 histories she had to write on this Saturday, and now she was such a mess. And I was like, but why do you have to write such long histories? Why can't you? What do your colleagues do? Oh no, I have one. So there was another vet more or less doing the same thing as her, and he just wrote his notes in 10 minutes. And I was like, why can he and you can't? Oh no, because I want them to be like proper good notes. She had just like, but women, you're going to be like in a straitjacket soon. You're not going to write any notes. You need to stop doing this. No, so yeah, time management, like prioritizing, learning what's important, and setting limits for yourself. Like, how long am I going to give myself to write these bloody notes?
Yeah, I mentored a new grad just recently whose previous mentor had encouraged him to write notes up at the end of the day. And I said, look, for one thing, the contemporaneous notes, you write them at the time or immediately after you have the consult. I jot them down on a piece of paper and then copy them. No. You're here till 9:30 every night, and that's not going to do you good. However you do it, you must be writing notes in large while you're talking to the owner about it, then finish those notes afterwards. And this was a while back, and he came to me a month back and said, thank you so much. I think that's the most valuable thing anyone's ever taught me.
Yeah. And
So,
I have a trick for people, because some people say to me, oh, but it's because I want to have a conversation with the owners. And if I'm turning my back to them and I'm writing, and I'm like, and what you do is you make it like I am literally writing a book about you guys. So I will be asking, so what does your dog eat? And they're like, what? And I'm this and this. So they're eating this, and I'm typing, and I'm like showing interest, and let's write this down. And this is so important. Oh, fish on the third Saturday. Let's write that down. When the owners are in there writing this book about the animal with you, like, you can turn it around. It doesn't have to be rude, off-putting at all. And they are in there with you, and they see how important you think it is, because I'm definitely writing this down.
Absolutely. What you can't do if you're doing that is actually secretly be playing a game. And if you're halfway through the console in this game over, man. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. That's a typing error.
Yeah,
That
you have
would
to
be
actually
rude.
write notes. Yeah.
You got to write notes. Yeah.
You got to write notes. Yeah.
Outrageous.
And so your life coaching, you teach in all 3 countries?
Yes, I do it online, unless I do live in-person workshops. So I do it online. So yeah, any language, any country.
And in your podcast as well?
My podcast is only in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell
Just
us about
because
your
everybody
podcast.
can hear it.
Tell us about
What's that?
podcasts. We like to think we know a little bit about podcasts.
We're
What,
thinking
do
of
you want me
doing
to-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm well into my 2nd year of doing weekly podcasts now, and I think it's like you guys. There's a lot you want to say, isn't there? And there's only limited how much you want to post about it. You can sit down and you can just say a lot in 20 minutes and get a lot out. Say what you're thinking, and you can give. So I typically do maybe one about, for example, I did one last week, which was like my 5 top tips to enjoy consults, where I really tell you, like, before you open the door, when you open the door, when the owners come in, and then how at the between consults, how can you make sure that you're in the right mind? And then maybe another week I will talk a bit more like in general and say like how important it is to have your goals, to have your mental health, this and the other. And then maybe another week I'll have someone on the podcast interview. So I've had one of my friends who worked in as a neonatal nurse, NICU, you call it, in the ICU. And they're literally telling parents that their baby might die, and how can our job with dogs and cats be harder than that? And we talked about protocols and how it can be easier for them because they have so much support, and it's like really they know what to do, and how our job is so very. So there's just all sorts of subjects just to try and make it. It's called the Overwhelmed Vet Podcast, isn't it? To try and help you with the overwhelm, and people can have some tools to work with, and feel, I think, heard as well, and feel that they're not alone with their struggles.
What made you start doing this podcast then?
To reach more people and let them know that you can stay in vet med, and you can, no matter how hard it seems, like there are ways to come around any struggle you might have. You can get around it, and you can stay, and then you can find another job in vet med, or you can stay in your clinic. But there are tools, and there are different ways to shifting your perspective.
Okay.
What's it called, your podcast?
The Overwhelmed Vet.
The Overwhelmed
Podcast.
Vet.
Yeah.
Okay. And we can get it on Spotify and on...
On all the normal podcast channels.
All the normal, and
well,
YouTube.
Veterinary
I do that-
Ramblings.
And I do YouTube as well. Yeah.
And YouTube as well.
Because I speak really fast, and I thought sometimes some people might want to have subtitles. Because when I get really passionate, I'm like, it's the Spanish coming out. I talk really fast.
Now, which language do you think in?
All 3.
Do you?
Yeah. It depends on what I'm thinking of and who I'm thinking about. Then I switch to whatever language is relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that all 3 at once?
It will make, so I can literally be thinking one phrase in English and then switch. So I can switch between languages all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself arguing with yourself? Your Spanish voice says something, your English voice says, oh, come on, look, speak English for a while, can't you? You always do this. I'm thinking of something you rattle on in Spanish at high speed, for heaven's sake, slow down. And then there's this reasoned Danish voice saying, no, come on, everyone, look, have a cup of tea and we'll chat about it.
I think that would make me slightly more crazy than I already am, but also no.
I think you're referring to what's known as an alter ego here, Julian.
Or a multiple personality disorder. What
Yeah,
are
being
those two?
tripolar, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Just because my dead dog has got an alter ego character that lives in my head, but he's a good boy.
He is a good boy, absolutely.
Good boy,
Yeah. Just don't get your hands near his mouth.
Yeah.
That's Mike's, not his dog.
Yeah.
Or your face.
What you say?
So, how would you describe yourself then now? Would mother hen to the veterinary profession be too strong?
If what? Mother hen? I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. Inspiration? Maybe.
I think you're doing a great thing. Don't get me wrong. That
Yeah.
come across as slightly insulting. But
No, I was trying to think. What is it? Yeah, inspiration, giving a new perspective, support, supportive. Yeah.
no, because you're reaching out here in you're missing your girls, aren't you?
Am I missing my girls?
Because
They.
you're reaching out to the veterinary profession and younger vets and vets
Yeah.
with less experience and enveloping them in your arms and holding them to you and going, these things happen.
Yeah.
Don't worry. This is normal. And how you deal with that is the thing that matters. And you can deal with that in one or two ways. So how long have you been teaching?
So 4 to 5 years. I think I graduated from the life coach school in 21.
Mm-hmm.
2021 I graduated. But now you say that with the young vets, it's actually most people that come to me for help are actually at my age, so in their 40s, and they've been burned out for a long time, and only now maybe are recognizing, like some of them are trying to maybe even leave the profession. So I think everybody I actually coached up to now have come to me wanting to leave the profession and just not being in the right space for anything at that moment. And then when we finished coaching, most of them had gone back, maybe doing something else. So one maybe has set up her own clinic, another one started getting a certificate, another one started doing, she completely left and was just doing the online where you can help insurance companies, where you can do like online prescriptions and that. She then slowly went back to locoming, and she was constantly texting me, I set a boundary, I did this, I did that. So everybody that I have coached have gone back, but I'm not telling them to. I'm just saying, I just want you to have a good life. I just want you to enjoy your life. I don't care if you go to work in Asta. I just want you to be aware of the decisions you're making, why you're making them, and that's all, But then
it must be very fulfilling.
it is
very
incredibly
rewarding.
fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so much fun, especially when you coach someone and you start getting a bit of rapport. So this woman, for example, with the time issue with the notes, we only had a consult, then she didn't come back because I think she couldn't fathom that I was telling her she had to change her ways. And some people are just not prepared. But when they're prepared to change their ways and they can see, then we start having fun, because then I can say, did you see what your brain just did there? And we have a laugh instead of being so serious. So it's fun and it's really cool. And I love it when people then text me and said, I had this issue and in the past this would have happened, but now look how I handle it. That is incredible.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
And how do they hear about you? How can we pass people on to you? Signpost them
So
to you?
they hear me through my passport, my podcast, and then they see, that was the language I'm flagging now. So the
All
podcast,
three at once.
yeah. What language do you want me to flag in? And then obviously the social platforms, and then I think that's mainly how. And then I do reach out to some people and say, do you want me to do a workshop and stuff? So I've done a bit there, but I should probably do a bit more, because somebody pointed out a lot of vets are probably not on the social platforms because they don't have time, or they don't think they have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that. Fair enough.
Yeah,
So I presume you'd recommend coaching for anybody in VetMed?
absolutely. Yeah, and out of VetMed as well. I think anybody, leaders of the universe, the countries, if they all had coaching, we wouldn't be in the pickle we're in now, I think, for sure.
Yeah. Yes. A big pickle, a lot of them.
Yeah.
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 Well, we do CPD on Veterinary Ramblings, don't we, Julian?
We do a very short CPD.
Yeah. About 60 seconds worth.
About exactly that, actually, isn't it? Exactly.
Although Once it affirms that it is actually formal and could be considered formal CPD.
You need reflection for that, don't you, of course?
You need reflection for that. But I think so. Gunila, we do what's called 60-second CPD on Veterinary Ramblings. Have you come across this?
I've heard about it, yes.
You have. Would you like to have a go at the 60-second CPD challenge?
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, in that case, so what would be your 60-second CPD? I've got my timer here.
Yep.
And Julian's going to laugh because he's going to realise I've forgotten the big timer again.
Yeah.
So I'm having to use my telephone. Yeah, for the listeners, Mike normally holds up a great big clock that counts down 1 minute, but
on that.
he's forgotten that. I've got this here for you. So there you
It'll
go.
jiggle around a bit and distract you, but there we go. That's all part of the.
I'll try and get it so it doesn't reflect too much and you can actually see it. It'll be something like it's the reflection of Julian on me or the reflection of the clock, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You'll just have to shout, I think.
No, you can have the countdown. Everybody has the countdown timer. So what's going to be your topic for your 60-second CPD? And I
It
will
is why everyone needs coaching, especially in VetMed.
in that case, 60-second CPD, Gunila Pedersen on why everybody needs coaching, especially in VetMed, starting on the world clock. No, this is what happened last time. Starting now.
Okay. So first, we believe that we'll be happy when we get into vet school. Then we believe happiness will come when we graduate as vets. And after a while, maybe I'll be happy in another clinic or when I feel more confident. If the outer world defined our happiness, then why are so many rich and famous people depressed and on drugs? Happiness comes from inside. When we believe happiness is to be found outside of us, we are leaving it in the hands of everyone around us, which there's no way to control. Coaching helps us be aware of and choose how we want to think and feel. This way, we're able to define our experience of life inside and outside of the clinic. Coaching is necessary because you can't read the label from inside the bottle. With coaching, you can get a perspective on how you're currently experiencing life and decide what you want to change. It gives you your power over your own life.
Wow. And that was perfect. Millisecond. I love that phrase. You can't read the labels from the inside of the bubble.
The bottle.
The bottle, rather, yeah.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
A great thing, yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that's why you need a coach to stand outside and say, look what your brain is doing. Yeah, and it's funny. Yeah, you have to do it if you don't want to.
I also, the thing that resonates with me is the choice and choosing how you can react to a situation.
Yeah.
I'm rubbish about that. I just go straight to my monkey brain.
Yes. Mine's
on, put 'em up.
reptilian brain at the back that makes me want to hide under a rock until it's warm enough to bask in the sun.
Yeah. But there's a pause, right? There's a pause from, and I think for us vets, specifically for boundary setting, which is something I just coach on all the time, is that people are like, oh, can you just do this? Can you take this shift? Oh, do you mind? Can you do this prescription? And we just like, yeah, sure. It's the pause, that little, to stop for a second and breathe before you say yes. And if it's about a shift, you don't have to answer straight away. You can say, let me just think about it. I'll come back to you. And we don't, it's just that pause, having that choice. No, I think it's so important.
We're geared to please people, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're geared because it makes us strong and powerful and all-knowing. And basically everything vets should be and anaesthetic experts should be. We should know everything. We should be able to do everything. If someone says you couldn't just fix this carburetor for me before you operate on the next dog, yeah, sure, I can do that. Absolutely fine. No problem at all. Yeah. Is it a Weber carburetor? No. Okay. Probably a Wankel rotary engine. I'll do that. And then we think, why did I say yes? Why?
Yeah. I think it's a badge of honor to be resourceful as a vet. Like we should be like, I'll just quickly do this. We can do that. And it just can become really extreme where I think it then becomes a really controlling thing. Like I'm the only one that can do it right. It's a bit like the mom that won't let the dad dress the baby because then it comes out with 2 different socks and a dress that doesn't match the hat. So I'll do it. I'll have to do it. I have to do it. And then just as the mom gets super stressed in the end and then resents the dad, we get super stressed and then
my wife won't let me load the dishwasher.
There you go. She needs coaching. But it's true. So then we resent the clients, we resent our co-workers because we're burned out, but it's because we take on so much because we are the only ones that know how to do it.
I've seen him try and load the dishwasher. She's right.
Yeah. It's a genetic thing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not go there. I think the course is more on how to load a dishwasher and not that.
The cups have got to be the right way up, otherwise it wastes water, Michael. Told you this.
See what I mean?
Yeah, get it.
I think we've learned a lot from the CPD. Far more than just the 60 seconds you gave us for it.
Mm.
But, as we mentioned earlier, it's not proper CPD until we have reflection. So, would you have a reflection question for our listeners?
Something tells me Gunila's got a reflection question.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
It's
what.
a loaded question, isn't it?
It's going riding on the CPD I just did. So
Okay.
it's like, what are you telling yourself? I will be happy when what? What is it you're telling yourself? Oh, for example, for a young vet, it could be, once I know how to do a bit spay in less than an hour and a half, then I'll feel like then I'll be happy. What is it? What is that carrot on the stick you're holding in front of yourself? So what is it you're telling yourself? I'll be happy when?
Okay.
How do you cope with the answer?
How do I cope with the answer?
Mm.
What answer?
You've asked the question, I'll be happy when,
Yeah.
but I probably won't be happy when, even though I'm telling myself I'll be happy when.
Yeah.
So what do I
You'll
do
be happy
then?
in that moment, right? You'll tell yourself, oh, I got here. And then your brain will start creating new problems. And then you have to go solving them or going for that new goal.
I'll probably feel I'm not worthy and that it happened by accident.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably think that Mike's got it first, so there's no point in me even trying.
Yeah. Also that. Yeah.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I think that would
external
keep our...
search.
I do apologise.
No, sorry, because there's always so much I want to say, but it is that search for external validation, that search for, this physical thing, when I get the house, when I get the car, when I know how to do this, when I've studied this, then if I get to this new clinic, then and not realizing, I don't know if you know this, but in Scandinavia, we have a really funny expression that says that the Christmas gnomes moves with the house. So in Denmark specifically, everybody knows this. So when in the old farms, when you had a farm, which we have a lot of farmland in Denmark, still have, it's very important to us. We always have a gnome, the typical Christmas gnome everybody knows. We have a gnome living on the hayloft, and you have to bring up.
Where is he? He's there. He's on my bookcase.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So the one we have in Denmark is quite temperamental, and you have to bring him porridge, and you have to bring him rice pudding for Christmas, and so on. There's like very specific things. Now, if you forget, he'll get mad, and he's the one that controls the farm. So now the milk will be sour, the hay will be rotten, and so on. And then maybe a farmer will go, I can't take this gnome anymore. I'm going to move to another farm. We're going to sell this one. But if you don't solve for the problem with the gnome, he's going to move with you, and it's just going to continue. So you need to address the gnome and give him some proper porridge, because otherwise you can't just move away from it. And it's a bit the same. We think that if I just get to a new place, if I just get this thing, then I'll be happy. But you have to deal with your little gnome living up here first.
Okay.
Let me turn back to my gnome on my bookcase.
Yes, you turn back to your gnome.
Do you want a beer, mate? Yeah. The gnome on my bookcase says that he needs another beer.
Yeah. You be careful.
I'm going to have to unravel this.
You haven't instantly sold me on the gnome. I was with you up until the gnome, but I'm going to have to think through that later. But I think it's a lot to think about. And I think it's also meritorious of a CPD certificate.
I think so.
And it just so happens I have one here. And it's a certificate of everyone needing coaching, especially vets.
Aww.
Let's explain what I've got on here. You like cats. You really like cats. So there's lots of cats on there for you. There we go on that side. You also like winter swimming, and that's me swimming, or at least lying in a glacial stream.
Love it.
And you can't really see it very well, but there was ice just on there. It was 0 degrees. You're in Spain at the moment, so even though it's not vegan, there's a paella. And you like snorkeling, and there's a lovely pair of fish I saw when I was snorkeling last.
Thank you.
So there you go. Thank you very much for that amazing 60-second CPD, which was to the millisecond. absolutely
I mean, I'm a
spot on.
perfectionist after all. I manage my mind around it. I'm still a perfectionist.
One of our guests is still going. That's around a year ago. And we,
Yeah, I think they are actually.
every now and then we phone him up and say, "Yeah, almost finished. Has the
Yeah.
buzzer gone yet?" No, not quite.
Yeah,
We carry on. We carry on.
You keep going. Yeah. This is going to be the best episode ever. Yeah, you carry on.
Yeah, you might need to whittle it down. Yeah, we'll keep it all in. Don't worry.
Yeah, you laugh. It's actually going on.
Yeah.
I heard that's actually one of the worst nightmares for TV hosts when they have someone on the show, a guest, and they can't cut them off and they keep talking when you have the segment. So I don't know. I heard that and that just stuck with me. So if somebody tells me it has to be within a time limit, I'm like, whatever it is, that's it.
There we go.
Yeah.
60 seconds, RCVS qualified CPD.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Take a note,
Got it.
download the certificate off the website and send
That's-
that off to the RCVS to qualify for your CPD.
And that's a minute towards your 36 hours.
Do you know, I think it was hinted at the past presidents of the RCVS that the whole show counted as CPD.
I think it does, actually. I think it does. Yeah.
I think it
Nice.
does.
So,
Although-
well, this certainly does, because this is more full of useful things than many of our other episodes, which, while they've also been interesting and exciting, haven't necessarily been, dare I say, useful.
Great.
What is useful anyway? What defines useful?
Oh, my word.
Gosh. And here we are into the third hour of the podcast.
Marathon. Podcast marathon.
We'll be signing up for a coaching session with Gunila soon.
I think we will. I think
Recover from this.
we need to have Gunila back on again to talk about what is useful.
Yeah. Yep.
And what isn't
Give me
useful.
another 60 seconds.
And what isn't useful, yes.
Yeah.
You could do another 60-second CPD if you want.
That's okay. I need to practice.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So if people log onto your podcast, what are they going to be met with? Is it 20 minutes or is it an hour and a half?
It varies. Yeah, so it varies. So normally around 20 minutes up and down if it's me by myself. If I interview somebody, whatever it takes for us to get to the root of what we want to talk about, but that can often be up to an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. Yeah,
For sure.
anywhere between there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And people can also find you on which social media?
They can find me on LinkedIn as Gunila Pedersen. They can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Gunila Life Coach.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. And we'll have those little banners up under the chapter headlights on the headlines rather on the
Perfect.
website. So,
Yep.
to direct our listeners and viewers.
So wherever you access your veterinary ramblings, whether it's veterinaryramblings.com or Spotify or wherever it is, then look out for those links and we'll be sharing them with you. And if you want to get in touch with Gunila, I have to say, I found it very easy talking with you this evening. So I think it will be a well-made step if you go down that route. So that's brilliant.
I do have, if people are a bit scared, because I do realize it takes a lot to talk to somebody when you're not used to. So sometimes like people comment on post and we start there, but I do have a free PDF that explains a lot, like with a lot of tools as well. People, that's on all my social as well, if they want to download that and start, just somewhere to start where they don't have to be in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's useful to know. That's brilliant stuff. So I think probably we've come to a natural end, really. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much indeed, Gunila, for sharing your story and sharing what makes you tick and what you're up to now. Very much appreciate that. And if our listeners have enjoyed listening to Gunila, please check her out. Worth it. I get a feeling there's encyclopedic knowledge to support everything that she's talked about and touched on today. And if you think that might be useful to you, then get in touch with Gunila. I'm sure she'll sort something out for you. And all it remains me to say is thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Don't forget, click like, share, spread the news, because we're all a big community. And the more clicks, likes and shares that we get, the more it helps on everything. Gunila Pedersen, thank you very much indeed. May your dog go with you.
May your dog go with you.
Cheers.